This video covers the content of the presentations workshop. This workshop covers understanding what a presentation involves, recognising the skills required, and what makes a good presentation, also known as the 4 Ps of presentation. It doesn't cover academic writing, finding information for your assignments, how to manage your time, or how to use PowerPoint. There are specific workshops and more appropriate guides for each of those topics. So what is a presentation? It's a method of delivering information to a key audience. Within a presentation, you provide information or material, you can teach a skill, you could sell something, or you might report on findings or progress on something. You might also be problem solving to reach a decision. To deliver a presentation, you need verbal skills, but also non-verbal skills, as well as academic writing skills. The workshop goes through each of those different skills in turn. In terms of verbal skills, it's really important when you're presenting to speak with authority, enthusiasm, and conviction of the message that you're delivering. You can use your voice to express the meaning that you're wanting to come across, and you should engage with your audience to keep them involved. Non-verbal skills are important too. If you're presenting face-to-face, think about what your face and your body are saying as you're delivering your message. It's important to be enthusiastic, even if the topic isn't very exciting. So you should smile and engage with your audience and make eye contact with them as you're presenting. Now, the writing skills are very similar to those you would need when you're writing an essay, any other kind of written assignment. You need to select your content carefully. What information are you going to include? You plan it logically, like you would for a written essay. And you need to be able to discuss the subject, again, as you would if you were doing a written assignment. You should be confident in the language and wording that you're using. And you need to consider your audience in the same way that you would consider your reader as you were writing. But with a presentation, there are tools that can help you. You might be asked to use presentation software like MS PowerPoint or Prezi, but there are also other resources that you can use to support you. If you're presenting in person, you might have flip charts or sticky notes and whiteboards that you and your audience can use. Even if you're presenting online, you might have posters and artifacts and video that you can incorporate into that presentation. The important thing to remember, though, is that you are the presentation. Regardless of what you are using to support you, it's the information that you are putting across with your voice, as well as the slides, that is key to your success. The content is important to consider. You need an introduction in which you set out your aims and objectives. Your main body then explores all of the ideas that you want to cover in a logical order. And then you have a conclusion in which you summarise what you have talked about and then deliver the importance of that presentation, importance of that topic. All of this is then followed by your reference list so that your audience and your marker can see the academic sources you've used to pull it together. All of that is exactly the same as you would need to include in an essay, a written assignment. The 4 Ps of presentation are important to keep in mind as you're working. The 4 Ps are plan, prepare, practice, and present, and we're going to go through each of those in turn now. When you're planning, keep your assignment brief to hand, so make sure that you are doing what's requested of you as you work. Think about the time limit that you've got to deliver the presentation, and consider the venue that you'll be delivering it in, or if you're doing it online or a recorded version of the presentation, consider the platform you'll be using to achieve that. Research the topic in detail, make sure that you have more information than you're going to need, read widely about it, and then think about how you're going to use those resources to provide the evidence within your presentation. Choose a logical order for the points that you're going to make. So if you're working with others, like in a group presentation, make sure that you're keeping in touch with them so that the communication amongst the group about all of these things is continuous. Preparing is really important. Make sure that you're keeping the topic relevant to the assignment brief. Prioritise the content that you're going to include and think about the possibilities of what you could explore and what constraints there might be. That might be time, it might be a type of resource that you're using. The structure needs to be really strong with that introduction, the main body and the conclusion, and then review your work as you're going through. Make sure that you are keeping to all of these constraints and meeting your assignment brief requirements. Practicing your presentation is really important. Don't just prepare your slides and then rehearse it in your head and then go and deliver it for the first time. Practice it out loud before you need to do that. Do that on your own to build your confidence, first of all, and then practice it in front of another person. You could choose one of your siblings, a family member, a friend. While you're doing this, time yourself to ensure you're not going to go over any time limit that you've been set. And consider how fast or slow you're delivering your presentation so that you can get that right on the day. And then when you're ready to present, make sure that you're prepared. Make sure you've got everything with you that you need. Dress the part. Wear comfortable clothes, but wear something smart. Do what you need to do to conquer your nerves. Everyone will have different strategies that they will use to reduce the nerves on the day. But above all, believe in yourself. And once you start delivering the presentation, you will enjoy yourself. So really, get into that enjoyment of the presentation. Now, what's really important when you're preparing your slides is to make sure that there's a good balance between the amount of information on the screen and then what's being delivered verbally. Now, while I was saying all of that, what were you trying to do? Were you listening to me? Or were you reading the slide? Or were you trying to do both and not quite managing it? It's really important not to overload the slides with text. Don't write in full sentences on your slides. Use bullet points to categorize the information. It will act as a guide to your audience to see what you're covering at different points within the presentation, and then they will be able to listen to you to get more information about each of those points. Images, pictures, diagrams are also really helpful to aid your reader to not overload them and to help them understand the topic. Now, when you're presenting, here are some tips and tricks to help you out. It's absolutely okay to move around while you're presenting. Point to the screen, point to diagrams and images that you're using to help get the message across. Pause as well to allow information to settle, to sort of go into people's minds, and keep smiling at your audience as you make eye contact with them. And most importantly, remember to breathe in between each thing you say. So in summary, we've talked about what a presentation is. We've covered the skills that you need in order to create a presentation. And we've talked about the 4 P's of success for presentations. Now, there are lots of resources to help you with building your presentation. We have a presentation guide on the library webpage. Go to the academic skills guides, and in the type of assignment section, there is a guide on presentations. If you use our A to Z of resources and find O'Reilly, you will be able to search within that. You search presentation, there are lots of tutorials, videos and guides on how to create a presentation. And if you're using PowerPoint, Microsoft have a lot of really useful resources to help you build your presentation on their support website. Don't forget to explore our other workshops, which will probably help you with your presentation. So our academic writing workshop, our critical writing workshop, for example, and our workshops on finding evidence using library search will be useful to you. There are videos that cover the content of those sessions as well. And good luck making your presentation.